Many dogs love the winter, but do we really need to be using dog boots? How do we know which ones to use? How do we get them on? How do we train a dog to wear the boots? What do we do if your dog won't tolerate the boots at all? When the temperature is very low, some dogs will refuse to walk or will hold up a paw or two. The ground is just uncomfortable. Boots can be really helpful, even just for a quick bathroom trip. For dogs who love playing in the snow, sometimes we have trouble if there's a layer on top that has melted and refroze. The abrasion of breaking through that crust can create cuts on a dog's foot. If the snow is very wet, it can form snowballs between a dog's pads as he's running and playing. If you live in an urban area, walking on sidewalks can expose your dog to salt and sand. Boots can be helpful to prevent this from being tracked into your house, to protect your dog's feet if they are sensitive to the abrasion, and it can prevent your dog from licking the salt off of his feet later. The three most common types of boots are these ones that look like shoes that have a rubber tread on one side, these double-sided ones that are like a bag with Velcro, and these balloon-style ones. There's no easy recommendation for the best boots for your dog. This depends on your dog, the shape of his feet, the weather conditions where you live, and the situations where you will be using the boots. In general, I do really like the sled dog style boots. They're lower cost, easy to wash, and they hold up well to exercise and activities. The best type depends on your dog and the application. To put on a boot, gently slide your hand down your dog's leg and put his foot into the boot. Velcro it securely so that it does not come off as he's running and playing. Be sure you bring the foot slightly forward or slightly back, but avoid pulling your dog's leg out to the side. That's not as comfortable for the dogs. Sometimes it's easier to have a dog lay on his back, and then you can put the boots on that way. My dogs are too long for that to work, but I've seen it be successful for others. In terms of training, we're going to use the same process we use for nail trims, brushing, and handling at the vet clinic. We're going to teach your dog that if he holds still, he will earn a treat. Start with a hand on his shoulder. If he is still, say yes, and then give a treat. The yes will only happen if your dog is still. Then slide your hand from the shoulder to the elbow. If he's still, yes, and then give a treat. Once you can slide your hand down his leg, then add in the boot. We might start out with the boot just being held in your other hand or moving it slightly closer. If your dog is still, give the yes, and then give a treat. If he pulls away, let him. That's okay. Some dogs seem to be ticklish, and if you bring the boot straight for his foot, he'll pull away suddenly. If you start with the boot up at his shoulder and slide it down the leg, we can sometimes have a better experience than if the boot just comes straight for his toes. This trick sometimes works on nail trims as well. Sometimes it's easier to start with just 2 boots on, then immediately engage your dog in play, go for a walk, or do some treat games. Try to keep his mind off of how silly his feet feel, and most dogs will adjust very quickly. Some dogs with really sensitive feet might need weeks of training before they're ready for boots to go on. So in the meantime, you can have your dog jump into the bathtub or a low plastic tub of water to rinse off his feet after a walk or outing. Afterwards, you can have him hop onto a towel and do a few spins.